here yet again with another global culinary ingredient called Thai basil. It's a fragrant herb that has been a cornerstone of Southeast Asian cuisine. There they call it Thai basil. Unlike the sweet basil commonly used in Western cooking, Thai basil boasts a distinct anise or licorice-like flavor, combined with a hint of spice. Its unique taste has made it an indispensable ingredient in many Thai dishes such as green curry. It's characterized by its narrow leaves, purple stems, and delicate lavender flowers. Thai basil not only enhances the flavor profile of dishes but also adds a vibrant touch of color. The herb thrives in warm climates and can be easily grown in home gardens, making it accessible for both professional chefs and home cooks alike. Beyond its culinary applications, Thai basil holds a place in traditional medicine. It is believed to have various health benefits including anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. This makes it a herb that not only tantalizes the taste buds but also contributes to overall well-being, not forgetting it being a viable agricultural venture. Join me as I explore the fascinating world of Thai basil from its cultivation to its culinary uses and learn how this humble herb has become a global sensation. Now, let's go to the farm.
Thank you, Robin. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you for choosing Kilimo and Biashara show today. Well, now we want to dive into the culinary world yet again with yet another herb. Well, we've done this before. We've done basil. Remember basil? Or perhaps most of you call it Basil, depending on the school that you went to. So today it's a different variety called Thai basil. Are you ready to explore that and know more about this particular herb? Could be for local consumption or for export. So shall we go and engage the experts to learn more about this? Let's go. Jamal.
Yes. Karibu Linda.
Thank you so much. How are you?
Fine. Welcome to Spring Moon Herbs.
It smells so good.
It's aromatic.
So this is the Thai basil.
This is basil. Sweet aroma 2 is the variety.
It's the Thai?
Yeah. No, it's not the Thai. It's sweet aroma 2. Thai is somewhere else. I'll take you there after this.
So you have different varieties of basil.
We have Thai basil. It's currently in the greenhouses above us, so I'll take you there after this.
So it's important to have all these varieties.
That was because our clients kept asking us from abroad for different types of basil, so we had to fulfill our clients' needs. Yeah, so we had to grow the other type of basil for them.
Jamal, now let me take you back just a little bit to where all this began. The Jamals that I know, well, are doing different businesses aside from agriculture. Actually, I seldom see them in agricultural sector. So how did you decide this is what I'm gonna do?
My dad actually started this like 5-6 years ago, but he was doing it as his hobby. So as he passed on, I decided to do it seriously. So I saw the opportunity, there was a scope for this, and I decided to make the best out of it.
But why herbs? Because I know there are different types of crops and you decided to venture into herbs. Which herb actually did you begin with?
First, we started with just about 4 greenhouses. That's what my father had left. But now we have currently 21 greenhouses on site, and we are looking to expand as we get more orders, hopefully.
And you started with basil?
The normal basil. Now we recently incorporated Thai basil into it as well. There's also rosemary, sage, so we keep expanding slowly according to our clients' needs.
But why did you really decide to go the herbs way?
Because the clients from abroad, we were looking to expand and start selling abroad. Yeah. So the other crops such as onions and tomatoes, we had a lot of challenges. But when we ventured into this, we gave it our all and we saw it's not as bad as we thought. Things started working out and we thought of expanding slowly.
Jamal, so what's the difference between this sweet aroma too, you said, and the Thai basil?
There's not much of a difference. We're just looking to fulfill our clients' needs. But major difference is in the physical appearance, in the coloring. But Thai basil is purple on the stem. It has serrated leaves. This other one is mostly green, as you can see. Yeah, but they both have aroma, a sweet aroma. Although the Thai basil has a heavier smell to it, but it's a very good aroma. Not much of a difference. They are both used in stir fries and in curries, especially in Southeast Asian cuisine.
I'm curious to see the Thai basil, but before that, I'm just looking at this investment that you've put here. I'm seeing the greenhouse and the infrastructure, the drip irrigation system. Tell me about that, especially at the beginning.
To begin with, so you need a greenhouse because you cannot grow Thai basil and most of the herbs outside, except for rosemary, sage, you can grow maybe outside, and thyme. But Thai basil and these other types of basil, oregano, tarragon, you have to grow them in-house. So you need a greenhouse for that. You need capable people, and you need some of the setups, as you can see the stickers here, to be controlling the pests that we have inside the greenhouses. The big thing I can say is we need a greenhouse.
Now we can go to the other greenhouse now to check out the Thai basil.
Yes, I can take you there for sure.
Okay. Dan.
Hello Linda.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very fine. Karibu.
Asante sana. Now, introduce us to Thai basil.
Yeah, so my name is Dan Mwangi. I'm the agronomist. I was just speaking to the crop, checking out how it's doing. And as you can see, we have the crop is looking good. But there are some spaces that needs gapping, so that's what I was evaluating.
So before we even talk more about this basil, what is it known for? What is it known for? What is it?
Thai basil is a variety of basil. We have quite different types of variety of basil. We have sweet aroma 2, which is most common, and sweet aroma 1. We have the red basil and we have the Thai basil. It takes the same period as the other basil. In the propagation unit, it takes 3 weeks. We propagate by seeds. It takes 3 weeks in the nursery, and then in the greenhouse it will take just 4 weeks, and then from there you are good to go to harvest.
So aside from the timing, I'm just curious why you proposed this to your farmer.
They have ventured into basil farming, so we wanted to increase their basket. So when one has different types of crops, when we are looking for market, when you get somebody who has basil, the red basil, the Thai basil, the green basil, the rosemary, the oregano, you are more prone to get markets for such crop. Plus there is a lot of demand for this crop.
And since you've mentioned about gapping, what are other challenges or what are other measures that should really be put in place, especially when you're growing this basil?
The Thai basil doesn't have a lot of work, but you have to manage it like all the other basil. You have to grow it in a greenhouse because of the pest of concerns. It's prone to lead spider mites, the leaf miners, the aphids. So we have to grow them in the greenhouse, and we have to do regular scouting and document all that. So every day when I get into the greenhouse, I have to come check how the crop is doing. And then I will, depending on the scouting, that's when I will advise on the next course of action that will be done. Yes, we also have to carry out regular weeding of the crop to make sure that the crop is weeds free, and when the crop is weed free, we also don't get attacked by pests.
But now, Dan, can basil be grown outdoor?
You cannot grow basil outdoor unless you are not exporting. It's a regulation that if you want to venture into basil farming, you have to grow it in the greenhouse. Because of the regulation for the EU, we have pests of concern that are native in our country, but they don't have there. So they don't want you to export those pests to their countries.
It takes 3 weeks, the propagation unit, right? But now, how long does it take by the time a farmer gets to harvest?
Yes, in the nursery, it takes 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, the crop is ready to be planted. So you just make your beds and your greenhouse, you make it ready. So once you have transplanted it, it will take 4 weeks, depending on your feeding. If you have a good feeding program, in 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, then your crop is ready to harvest. From there, from the first harvest, you'll be harvesting weekly.
And what do you mean by a good feeding program?
Feeding program involves foliar twice a week and regular feeding of other soluble fertilizers like calcium nitrate, magnesium sulfate, urea, all that.
Thank you so much for that, Dan. We truly appreciate and we've learned so much. I'm sure you're wondering what is being harvested right behind me. Well, it is Thai basil. Harvesting is ongoing and we're lucky enough today we have an expert in this particular field. So let's go learn about the marketing strategies and what to look out for when you want to venture into Thai basil. Are you ready for this? Let's go meet her. Esther! Hello, hi. I see you're holding Thai basil right there. Let's begin with how is the quality?
Oh, pretty good, Linda. It's actually the maiden cut, so it's just on time for the market window.
So before you talk about the market window, let's talk about this particular basil, because I'm wondering what sets it apart from the rest of the basils that you have in the market.
I would say it's more the luxury end of the basil. Like it's more used for on holiday dishes. You know, people want something different. It's originally from Southeast Asia, so when we have people used to the Mediterranean basil, they just want to try something new, something different for their holidays.
So how is the uptake of Thai basil locally?
It's a good starting point. It's a range because other than the normal basil, the Mediterranean, the sweet aroma, there's much more. We have the Thai basil, the lemon basil, but the Thai basil is the one that the customers are more keen on. The uptake is high, and especially for the destination markets. We are growing for market needs, so pretty much going to what the customers are asking for, and basil is a new entrant.
When you say destination markets, do you have particular countries that you really eye?
Since COVID hit, we've seen a lot of people wanting to try experimental stuff. Gen Z are also keen to try new cuisines, not just eating food for the sake of eating food, but what are the nutritional facts. They want to enjoy the nutritional facts as well as having good flavors. So we are seeing more people adapting with the East Asia cuisines, because the normal basil is the Mediterranean, like what the Italians would be eating. And we have more people, for example, wanting to go on holiday in Dubai, and the kind of foods they serve in those restaurants are more food sourced from the East Asia market. So that's why we're seeing more people adopting into the Thai basil.
So is it just the external markets that you're really tapping into, or even here in Kenya?
Kenya is a special market. I mean, look at what has happened in the last couple of months. We just hosting almost every serious summit being hosted in Kenya. So when people come here, they expect that we have that caliber of nice cuisines in our restaurants. And locally, some of the best places to taste the Thai basils, urban eateries are also doing a very good job. So we've seen more and more chefs trying to incorporate international cuisines locally, because it's not just for our local people, but also to be able to appeal to the appetite of the visitors as well.
Esther, I'm sure there is someone who's listening to you and they've settled. They're like, I'm going to venture into this, but where do I begin? So highlight for us some of the basic things that someone should know when they're venturing into Thai basil.
When you're talking about food, food changes, and I think that's what is different from international cuisines and local cuisines. Just the way we wear warm clothes during cold season and dress down when it's hot. So it's the same for food. People eat different foods. Like during the summers, people want to do barbecues, tasty foods, nice mocktails and cocktails. For someone trying to venture, it's also very good to know who are the buyers, what are the interest, and what are some of the trends that are driving this. For example, right now we preparing this the Thai basil for a customer in Saudi Arabia. You know, it's becoming a hotspot for tourists, and you can imagine, like, now they had targets to do about 1 million visitors in 7 years. They already hit that, so more and more people are visiting. Soon they're going for Haji, and you can imagine the human traffic in that direction. So the restaurants are getting busy and ready to be able to feed the new visitors coming.
I'm so happy to hear that, because I was not thinking about it in a holistic manner where there is Haji, there are summits and many other things.
It's not just the Hajj, there's so much happening this year in the calendar. Like the French are going to be hosting the Olympics. So we're looking at the chefs are going to be busy. What are those impacts? Because it's not a possibility that you'll see someone buy to go make fancy food at home. People want to do fine dining, try new cuisines. And that's why fancy foods, people want to try the Orientals. Because they're known to live longer, people want to copy what are the Orientals doing differently. So those are pretty much the trends that are shaping the demand.
So what is Thai basil really known for?
It's a good source of the antioxidants. The more color, the better. If you look at the stems, they are purplish in color. And it's very versatile. Like when you cook, it doesn't change the structure. Like when you compare with the sweet basil, it's a lot bolder, more spicier for those people who are looking for something different other than the Thai basil.
And now let's talk about the pricing model. I know many people really want to know about this. How is it priced, especially when it comes to the capital that you have to put in and the end game?
Basil, it's just like the normal basil. It's only that the variety is different and the timing when the customer would need it. So we've seen more demand for the Thai basil during the summers. So it could be a little bit of a rotational crop, if I may put it. Instead of doing the sweet basil non-stop, you just have to know at what point do you need to switch to be able to have continuous production. For example, during the summers, the destination markets have good weather and they're able to grow their own. So they try to import what they wouldn't have at home, and Thai basil falls in that category of exotic brands.
And is it an expensive venture?
I wouldn't say it's expensive. Expensive is relative. So the only main challenge is that the seeds are not locally available. Like for this lot, we had to import from the UK for these seeds. The merchants are not stocking, but I think it's because there not been a lot of demand for it.
And how are the returns on investment?
The harvesting is good. The beauty about the Thai basil, it's hardy. You look at the leaves, it doesn't like bruise much. Even when they are diseased, we have in a situation, if you look at here, there was flooding in this greenhouse. But somehow, the Thai basil survives. It doesn't have a lot of challenges that you'd have with the other varieties.
So which other crop can you match Thai basil with?
The Thai basil is it's a niche product. It's kind of it's not a mainstay like you'd say about the Mediterranean based, the sweet basil. It it works well when it's a basket. Like you'd have some a little bit of rosemary, some little bit of lovage here and there, but it would pair very well with salads. Like growing lettuce and Thai basil go hand in hand with the holiday mood and people wanting to, like, it can be used as an add-on for the salad.
So Esther, since harvesting is ongoing, I'd love to know how to harvest as well. I might be a Thai basil farmer, yeah? Mine is ready. Yeah. And this is going to Saudi. This is a bumper harvest.
Esther, now being an exporter, and I see you have your products here ready for export, but I'm just curious to know, how do you prepare yourself? We are done with the farm, now we are here ready to export. What are some of the things that you have to look into? I see the packaging here. What are some of the other things?
The grocery have found their way into the retail store, so it also has to be good how the supermarket shelves. There's not so much space, so it helps that the consumer is able to be able to locate the product in the shortest time possible. The label must be visible, and let's face it, the grocery store in the international market is like a war space. It depends on who has the best ammunition. How does your product compare with other products? So presentation, packaging is becoming very important to present the brand and also for the customer appeal.
Do you normally package it in kgs or in tons, or how do you manage this?
We are selling herbs as a basket, like a wide range. We're doing the Thai basil is just an add-on that, for example, 100 kilos of basil would help us be able to sell a ton of maybe rosemary or the common, the sweet basil.
Looking at this packaging here, tell me about it, because I see it's quite unique as well.
Our products are getting to spaces we've never been to. So we always tend to think about how do you want to present yourself, and packaging plays a very pivotal role. We are also very conscious about the environment as much as the destination customer. If you look like inside the bag, we working with a biodegradable bag, so that after the life of the basil, the bag just disintegrates. And as a business, we are now focusing more to ensure we are environmentally compliant, because we have markets like France, they're charging for plastic taxes. So by adapting into new technology, working with biodegradable products, we become customers' preferred supplier.
Like you've had, you adopt or die. That is how it goes with this business. You really have to be vested into it and adopt to the measures outlined in the export market. I hope you've gotten all the tips that you needed to know when you want to venture into this type of herb called Thai basil. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Linda Koskei. See you again next week for yet another exciting show for Kilimo na Biashara.